Okay, just a quick wrap up of the property here. Water comes in at the front of the house at the right side, and just kind of speaking to you as we walk around so that you can understand what goes on in the mind of someone inspecting a house for you. Cracks like these are minor. You're going to see them in every driveway pretty much in Florida. However, damage like this is not typical. Someone drove over that, it collapsed. These are uneven areas of concrete. They should be fixed for several different reasons. One of which is it could be a hazard for somebody, and second of which is it's damaged. It's going to allow for water to go underneath the driveway slab a little easier, and that can eventually lead to more damage. Walking around the property, okay, your main service panel is on the outside. This is a Challenger brand panel, and essentially it's 150 amp service. Your service disconnect breaker is right here. If you shut that off, everything goes off. Okay, I do have a couple of electrical things in here that will be in your inspection report, so just read that thoroughly, because this video is just designed to give you an overview. All right, this is the main water shutoff valve for the house. All right, that's something that if you have to shut the water off in the event of an emergency, this is where you would do it. You can always go down to the water meter to do it, but that is the actual first point that you would go to. I did see sprinkler heads and some valves here, but I was not able to find a sprinkler panel. So there may have been a sprinkler system here at one time. That seems to have been removed, or at least I haven't been able to locate it. These little stations you see on the ground, these are some sort of a termite bait station program, which you can see here and here again. These holes that you see at the concrete look like drill holes. Maybe they had treated this house at some point in the past. Okay, so as we move around to the outside here, this air conditioning unit is a Rudd. Now this unit was manufactured in 1995. This is a 20-year-old air condition. Budgeting for an air condition is definitely what my recommendation will be. The unit is cooling and heating right now normal, but definitely needs to be improved. That means that, I mean budgeted for, not improved, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Budgeted for, because statistically a 20-year-old unit is not likely to have much more time left. This is the side of the garage. You see the wood damage at the bottom of the door. This door needs to be repaired or replaced. You could do it either way, but it definitely has some damage there. What you see here at the outside wall on the right side of the house is an access panel, one of which has been kind of cemented in this thing, and I'm not able to open it. This is the access panel for the master bathroom jacuzzi tub. You would want to gain access to that. Right now someone else owns the property, so I'm not allowed to open something up if I could possibly cause damage to it, and I'm not able to open that up safely. I would recommend looking in there just for the simple reason that there could be some wood damage under there or some plumbing damage under that we would want to see. All of this vegetation that you see around the side of the building, this, I know it can give you some privacy and things like that, but this is a bit much. This is going to do nothing more than keep the areas wet. It's going to draw insects like termites, like ants, like roaches, things like that. So I would recommend strongly removing much of the vegetation here. This is a wood frame building, so naturally you want to take serious steps in improving the environment to make it less conducive to drawing insects. This is around the back part of the lanai, okay, where we're walking. You can see we're just kind of doing a lap around the house with you. In a previous video clip I showed you where the roof leak was at the chimney. Okay, that's up there. Okay, walking around here, there's some areas here where you really want to control water at the sides of the house, up at the top. These areas that allow water to fall near the foundation can also draw insects, but also can cause foundation problems down the road, and those are things that we really do not want to have happen to you because of a lack of maintenance. And that really is what that comes down to, just the lack of maintenance and care. So installing gutters, maybe putting some gravel around the building, those are helpful. Everyday suggestions that we make, removing the vegetation, I think that that is a huge thing, and I would recommend strongly considering that. As I come around the other side of the house now, we're going to be coming around the left side. At the left side, this is where the septic tank is located and the septic system is located. If the sellers haven't had any recent certification for this, I'm only able to tell you so much. Water drained while we were in the house. That's my job. That's part of what I do. If something backs up, I'll let you know. Nothing backed up while we were in there. However, I can't see underground, and it requires somebody certified by the state to be able to inspect what's underground for a septic system. So I strongly recommend having a professional come out to do that. It's usually in the price in the neighborhood of about $350 to do it. But if it doesn't check out, it can save you thousands of dollars in repairs. So it really makes sense, if it hasn't been recently certified, to have the septic system evaluated by a qualified contractor. As far as the roof goes, the shingles aren't bad. They were put on in 2005, but they have a lot of little impact damage, probably from hail at different areas when I was up there that I saw. You have two areas where up front where the roof is leaked. One is here, this at that front entry soffit. The other is at the opposite or opposing side soffit. And when you walk into the garage, you can actually see evidence of where the water penetration was. They painted over that, but that is where the stain was from the leak. All right, moving right along, this is the inside part of the garage. Here at this wall, there are some things that your inspection report will contain, some that it won't contain, but for the most part, here at this wall was I believe a water softener system that they had at one time. It's been removed. This is something that I don't think you can consider that an acceptable termination of the plumbing line, but I'll leave that to your discretion. It is what it is. It's here on the inside garage wall. This door lock set probably should be worked on or replaced. I would have the weather stripping replaced or worked on, because this door is something that you would need to get secured and watertight so that the water damage doesn't continue to occur there. Water heater was installed, I think, in 2007 according to the manufacturer's label. The problem with this water heater installation is this. See the elevation, okay, of how the garage floor goes up here? Well, when it goes up to the same level as the slab for the house, the requirement for a water heater installation is that a water pan be installed. Now, there's no water pan installed here. There is a conduit behind the water heater that was originally from the pan that was installed when the home was built. I'm certain of it. It would have been a standard installation then. When this water heater was installed, it should have been installed with it. Other than that, the water heater's fine, heating the water, doing what it's supposed to. This is the sub panel. This is your electrical sub panel here at the west side of the garage wall. It's also a Challenger. Things in here did not look bad at all. They look pretty decent. This GFI breaker right here is for the jacuzzi tub in the master bathroom, just so you know what to trace that to. Coming into the inside, there's some obvious things that you will see, some damaged flooring areas. I think the tile work is substandard, and you're going to see areas upstairs and downstairs where the tile doesn't really look like it was installed all that well. You're also going to see other areas that your termite inspector will bring to your attention. You have wood damage here in the laundry room at the trim, okay? As you walk towards the, well, actually, while we're going through the kitchen area, just show you here that there's no appliances here except for a garbage disposal, I believe, and that's all we really have underneath here. There it is. As we walk around to the dining room, you can also see some other damage. Now, this is actually termite damage here. You would want to make sure that you get with the sellers on when they did the termite treatment to find out when it was done, because if it hadn't been done, or they don't have a bond, it would be smart to do some proactive treatment here. Moving right along, a couple things down here just going to share with you. This leak from the ceiling here in the master bathroom, that's coming from the air handler unit, which is part of the HVAC system that's installed at the upstairs hallway closet. When you get into the air handler unit, you could actually see that at the intake you've got active condensation, and it's not just a little condensation, it's actually quite a bit, which is why that you're seeing the staining at the master bathroom ceiling below. If it were just normal or a slow or a minor problem or slow or minor leak, it would be different. But underneath here, is pretty wet. Not gonna be able to see, it's a little dark. Okay, but if I put my hand in here, okay, take my hand out, you can see it's wet, okay? So the remedy for that obviously is to have someone work on this. Now this air conditioning system is a mismatched system. It's comprised of a component outside that's 20 years old and a component inside that is around 8 years old. So I would recommend having someone evaluate this and actually consider replacing it at some point soon. Coming into the upstairs bathroom, this toilet is very loose and I've got a lot of active moisture here at the floor because of it. I believe that we've got leaking at the wax ring occurring there. So I think that it's important for you to have someone come in and take care of that before you use this bathroom so that you don't have any more water damage downstairs. Now, if you have any other questions, you can call me. Your report is going to be pretty self-explanatory. I am going to follow up with a phone call when I leave this property to you to discuss some of these things, but for now, that's kind of the wrap-up and brief summary of what we had here. Those are pretty much the major concerns that I have. Thank you.